So, today I want to talk about attendance hacks or strategies to easily track attendance during the virtual learning experience. Let's get started. Taking accurate attendance is an important component of virtual learning. Unlike being in a traditional school setting where teachers can physically see students in the classroom, the virtual classroom can present several challenges. It is helpful to have a clear plan of action to accurately record students' attendance. If you are using Microsoft Teams, there is an app that you can download to assist with virtual attendance. With the Insights app in Microsoft Teams, teachers can access analytics data about attendance, digital engagement, assignment workload, grades, communication, and more. To access the app, open Teams class, click on the plus sign on the top of the screen, click on the Insights app. A diagram is listed to the right. A pop-up window should appear which looks very similar to what you are seeing right now on the screen. If you are using Google Classroom, you will need to download the Google Meet Attendance app from the Google Chrome Web Store. When you are in Google Meet, select the Participants view, accept the permissions, close and reopen the people to capture attendance, click the attendance icon to open the attendance spreadsheet. A diagram is provided for you on the right. Another strategy that can be used to improve virtual attendance is to enable the waiting room or lobby. As the meeting organizer, you get to decide who enters into your meetings directly and who should wait for someone to let them in. If you choose to have people wait, you will see a list of people in the lobby. I have provided a diagram to the right. Both Google Meet and Microsoft Teams have the capability to use a waiting room or lobby. Using a waiting room or lobby is a good way to manually check off students' names as they enter the virtual classroom. If you are using Microsoft Teams, go to the Calendar button in the left margin. Select the meeting, go to Meeting Options, then click on Who can bypass the lobby. You will see a few options for changing participant settings. If you are using Google Classroom, you will need to add the Google Meet Waiting Room extension from the Chrome Web Store. Copy the meeting code, then click on Start a Meeting. Configure the participants' settings. Another strategy to improve virtual attendance is to utilize the chat feature. There are a couple of ways to utilize chat for attendance. The first way is to have students type their first and last names into the chat as they enter the virtual classroom. After the meeting has ended, the teacher can export the chat. It will have a list of students' names who attended the virtual class, along with the date and time. The second way to utilize the chat is to ask questions periodically throughout the lesson. This serves as a form of formative assessment. Teachers can ask students to respond to the questions in the chat. Again, teachers will export the report after the class has ended. Teachers can award students participation points for their responses. Another strategy to improve virtual attendance tracking is to assign a bell ringer or a sponge activity. Teachers can assign a bell ringer or sponge activity for students to complete at the beginning of the class period. This strategy is a great way to review content from the previous day, or to activate prior knowledge about the day's lesson. A few suggestions are to use USA Test Prep Question of the Day, USA Test Prep Bell Ringer, create a Microsoft form with a bell ringer or sponge activity, create a Google form for the bell ringer or sponge activity, utilize Khan Academy, create discussion prompts, writing prompts, etc. are all a few places in which to start to compose a bell ringer or sponge activity for the virtual classroom. Another strategy to improve virtual attendance is the call roll at the beginning and ending of class. This strategy is a little bit more time consuming than the rest, but it ensures the teacher correctly captures the students on the video conference. By calling roll at the end of class, it also helps to identify those students who may have entered class late or those students who left class early. And yet another virtual strategy for attendance is to click on the participant's icon if you are using Microsoft Teams. The diagram to the right shows you what that looks like. Download the participant report found in the roster view that includes join and leave times for participants. Organizers can download the report that includes users who joined while the organizer was present. Another strategy to improve virtual attendance is to enable sound notifications. The diagram to the right illustrates how to do that. The teacher can set the sounds in Microsoft Teams and Google Classroom to chime each time a student enters and exits. This will alert the teacher to monitor who's entering and who's leaving the virtual classroom. Another strategy to improve virtual attendance is to assign an exit ticket. Using a digital exit ticket at the end of class can deter students from leaving the class early or wandering away from the computer. If students know to expect the exit ticket at the end of class, they may be more apt to be fully engaged until the end. Teachers can review their responses to see which students actually submitted the exit ticket. It can also be traced to students' email addresses. The last strategy I want to provide to improve virtual classroom attendance is to utilize a daily check-in. A daily check-in is normally given at the beginning of the class period. It requires students to respond to a few key questions pertaining to their social emotional well-being. Daily check-ins can be created on a Google or Microsoft form. This makes it quick and easy for students to answer and for teachers to see which students have responded. It can also be traced to students' email. The daily check-ins are date and time stamped for easy convenience. Well, that's it. Those are a few strategies that will help improve your virtual attendance. Let me know which one you try. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.